Hey, welcome back to the finals of the July Legacy League. We've got Marta 1287 and Charbel who have reached our finals.
Indeed we do. We have Tribal again on Aluren, if you guys were watching. And then we have Marta, who just came off the back of the win off of Wizard Shift.
So these two guys actually came from the same pod. Their system is such that we have pods of 4 and the winner and the runner-up went forward. I think Marta was the winner and Charbel was the runner-up, but please don't quote me on that. And Marta did take a win over Charbel in the league play, but also Marta has been developing his deck through the time, whereas Charbel has stayed pretty much steadily on the same deck. So it should be interesting to see how this goes, because it was a 2-1 win, it wasn't a 2-0 win. So hopefully we should get some interesting matches here.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm really excited to see if Wizard Shift can take it all down. It is a very spicy deck list. In my opinion, the cardboard live should be up.
Very new deck list. Apparently, it's the dudes on the Merfolk Discord have been developing it. Merfolk was pretty minor deck in Legacy. Then it got this new infinite combo with Paradigm Shift and Thassa's Oracle. And yeah, it just wasn't quite getting there. I think its best result that I've heard about is that it managed 11th in a MTGO challenge.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if it takes it all down. I kind of expected coming into this there's going to be a lot of control players and a lot of like Grixis Delver or Teamer Delver. No such case.
Well, we know that the meta in this area is not typical. I hope that's because people are playing the decks that they love, but we tend to find on a Saturday night that there are, maybe 18 players, 17 deck archetypes.
Right. And as this league comes to a close, we're going to have our grand finals, up very shortly, starting to play. We do have a new league opening. We have the August League, which is up for registration now. If you type in !league into the Twitch chat, or check out our Discord by typing in !Discord. You can sign up on the Discord, or just sign up with !league.
Yeah. On the Discord, you'll find links in both general and registration to take you to the Melee page to register for the league. You've got till the end of Monday to register. And we did have several people miss last month, so don't let that be you.
Yeah, we're going to start with an Island Go into a Misty Fetch. I believe both players kept 7.
Yep.
And on the play is Marta. Underground Sea. Let's see where we go, Trevor. Are we going to Cabal Therapy turn 1? Maybe Force Negation.
Well, I mean, you got to expect Cabal Therapy, I think, here from Charbel.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's exactly what we've got. I mean, it could have been a Ponder, but I think Cabal Therapy was far more.
Fetching for Underground Sea? No. Cabal Therapy is maybe
probably
closer.
fetching for a different land if he's going to Ponder, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd fetch for probably a basic of some sort.
Although, I mean, he does have the advantage of knowing that there's no wastelands on the other side.
That is true. So what was the name? Chalice.
Cabinet Souls, Caracas.
True Name Nemesis, Thassa's Oracle, a Baron. Yeah, the 3 creatures are Baron, Oracle, and True Name.
True Name, and then
Island, Caracas, Cavern. Yeah, that's pretty stacked.
That's a pretty stacked deck, isn't it? I mean, I think it shows what difference the play makes when you have open deck lists. That Charbel knows that there's 4 Chalices in Marta's deck, and Chalice on 1 has the potential to hose him, so that's what he's going for.
Yeah, I would assume here you name True Name Nemesis when you do your next one and sack it.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the Oracle, but I think probably the Nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis is a bit difficult to get away with in Charbel's deck list. Especially if he gets an Aluren out and just finds out he gets True Named. Not a fun time.
Yeah, that's not going to be happy, is it?
Yeah, we're going to draw, 2 cards here?
Going to put Thassa, so yeah. He'll look at the top two, choose one, put it on the top, and put the other on the bottom.
Apparently didn't like what he saw.
Well, he still has to put one on the top.
Yeah.
It's not like some of these scry cards.
Actually, no, it doesn't have to be one on the top.
Oh,
it says put
we
up to.
have to...
Up to.
Oh, does it say up to? Okay.
It says up to.
I was reading that quickly. Put up to one of them on the top of the library. Okay, so he can boss in them both. So that is a correct play. Nice shiny brainstorm over there.
Oh yeah. That is the nice Mercadian Mass Flare.
And we have Savannah.
Yeah, I wonder if the Savannah is signifying that he has a sword in the hand, or if he has Veteran Explorer.
Yeah, it's possible he might just go for the Veteran Explorer, sack Veteran Explorer, get the basics.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm so confused with the deck list at this point. There is no Swords of Pleasure in this deck. So I don't know what you're holding up.
No, he has very little removal. I think he has something like 2 Assassin's Trophies. No, 3 Abrupt Decays.
Yeah. Yeah, that Savannah does nothing. Because Veil's on the side. There's nothing for that. It's just a nice Savannah.
It's presumably just what he had in hand.
Yeah.
And a lot of his creatures are green, so it helps him get to the right place. And also, interestingly, it's not a pairing of lands he can cast a Baleful Strix off. So we go for the Lorwyn Ponder on this side of the table. I sort of feel like the Lorwyn Ponder should be on the Merfolk side of the table.
Would make more sense. I believe we're going for that good old shuffle off the Ponder.
And honestly, the Merfolk deck doesn't play, or the Wizard deck, we should say, does not play Brainstorms and Ponders.
Honestly, I was sleeping on Watcher for tomorrow, but it seems to be such a house for what it does.
Yeah, it's only really fairly emerged in the past, month or so into play. Didn't see a lot of play early on, but now it's starting to find places.
Yeah, I think just the hideaway, the way it just taps and comes in, doesn't seem like it's beneficial, but in this kind of deck...
Yeah, hideaway, okay. I think, feels like kind of quite a bad play, quite a casual commander play. But potentially does have the power to be powerful, especially with Riptide Laboratory.
Oh yeah. And I believe we're going to bounce the Watcher. We'll get our card back.
Yeah.
Draw a card. I would assume that we're going to draw that card. There we go.
So Charbel has missed a land drop here.
Ooh, that's
Ponders
very
again.
rough.
And he had to shuffle off this last Ponder, so you can't help but feel things aren't going well for him.
Yeah. This is one of the situations you don't want to be in. You're really hoping, I guess, for a Veteran Explorer here.
Yeah, a Veteran Explorer is what he wants to land, because he does not want that true name to land.
Just gotta pray for that Veteran. Oh, we get another land at least.
Land, but do we have anything to do with it?
Do we have another Cabal Therapy?
Those lands... he has the other Cabal Therapies rather than the Veteran Explorer. So, presumably he names...
True name?
Names True Name Nemesis, yeah, and now he's rewriting down what's in the hand. Let's see if we can see...
2 Watchers, a Baron, 2 Athasa, and a Trickster?
Trickster, yeah, that's a pretty hefty hand there.
Yeah,
and the mana to play it all.
I think at some point you start getting concerned about the fact that you're going to start drawing like 6 cards very soon with this Devotion. Actually, look at 6 cards and then put them on the bottom or, top one.
He doesn't have a Riptide Laboratory out, but he does have another Baron, which could bounce before one of them dies to the Legend Rule.
Oh yeah. Swinging in for another 3. Is Baron a one drop? Yeah, 2/2. So we're swinging in for 4.
Yeah.
3. Sorry. Yep. Thassa's Oracle is a 1/3. That's where I was getting confused.
Yeah. 3 for Thassa's Oracle.
And honestly, I'm excited to see how this all plays out on Martyr's side. Martyr has enough gas in the hand to just keep going to find the paradigm shift.
Yeah, I mean, he has to just be careful, because the last thing you want to do at this stage is to go all in and it go all wrong. I've done that.
The trouble's thinking.
Yeah, so I wonder what... He's got a single white or green mana up.
I'm gonna play the Watcher again.
Yeah, Watcher comes in.
Yeah, the white or green can't really do anything. There's Veils on the side, but no main board, so you end up just sitting there with Savannah doing nothing.
So we find another card of Hideaway. And he is going to play another card. Is it going to be the Thassa's Oracle?
Chalice.
No, it's a Chalice on 1.
Yep.
So we've not seen, in any of the games that Martyr has played, we haven't seen any evidence of this Ether Vial, which we know is there. And vialing in Thassa's Oracle does give you answers to some things that casting it doesn't give you answers to. So they're less common.
Yeah, violating in Thassa's Oracle is kind of a questionable thing.
Yeah, there was actually, I think we saw him on camera, fail to vial in Thassa's Oracle when it would have won him the game.
It happens. I think we're gonna cast and learn here.
Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it? Or an Academy Rector.
Academy Rector is very good.
The Academy Rector. And he does have the Cabal Therapies to sack that too, so...
I imagine you sack Cabal Therapy naming Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, straight away. Yeah.
That would be my name, at least.
You don't need to name, because it doesn't resolve. It's countered by Chalice.
Correct. Get a learn, time to combo off, hopefully.
I wonder what he's actually got in that hand.
The scary part is now Martyr can do whatever he wants. Because that's all free. That's all free in Flash.
Yeah, you can just land everything.
I am very concerned to be in Charbel's position. We're gonna play an arrow.
Alright. Well, it's gonna help, because it'll pad his life total.
Yeah, gaining 3 life is pretty relevant. Playing a land would be nice.
He doesn't need a land to finish the combo, he needs to draw the right card.
Cavern Harpy.
So that's Cavern Harpy.
I assume we're gonna respond or something. I don't know what we're doing here.
I think that's presumably with the sacrifice trigger on the stack.
I mean, that's what I would be assuming. Yeah, that's what I'd be assuming.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're responding to the sack trigger, the sack ETB, and then bouncing that, getting it back, playing it again. Oh, this is infinite. That's funny.
Yeah, he literally gains infinite life here.
Yeah, that's infinite. You gain infinite life here.
He doesn't need classic combos. He actually gains infinite life instead.
Infinite life. No, technically speaking, he gains infinite life, infinite draws, infinite land plays.
Yeah. Which does actually mean he could therefore instead find all his combo pieces and then combo off.
Yeah, this is relevant. This is very relevant.
So now I wonder what Martyr's gonna try and do about this.
I would assume start looking for a card.
Yeah. But not sure what he has main deck. So there's
I mean,
8 devotion, so he gets to look at 8 cards.
he's got a dismember, but has no
Oh,
mana for it.
that's true. But he wouldn't have black mana. Oh no, he would need the single.
Oh, he could get a Vendilion Click. Vendilion Click also messes with this combo.
Oh yeah, that would mess with things, wouldn't it? You have to cast it at precisely the right time.
Oh yeah.
But there's just one Vendilion Clique, I believe, in their deck, so.
And even then, I
chances
think
he
you have
finds that
to
fate.
you have to respond to the activation of the Cavern Harpy going back to hand. I think
Yep.
is where you have to respond. Because both of them have flash at any time.
Yeah.
So you have to end up in a weird situation. Actually, no, you end up in a twofold situation where you can play Baron and cause a thing to go back to the hand and then play Vendilion.
Yep. I mean, obviously Baron is what we're expecting to come down here to get that card back.
Yeah. Are we going looking? Further looking? Like, what are we doing here?
Well, that's a Baron landed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it that Baron?
That's Baron. I don't know what to presume here. Oh, we're forcing it?
Oh, Baron gets forced. Interesting. And then, yeah, we get the scoop.
Ooh. Yeah, there's the combo.
I mean, with those draws, it's not an infinite life. It's I can draw my entire deck and I can combo off and I can remove your lock pieces. That the Chalice on one isn't a lock for the Aluren combo anyway, but you know he was going to find Abrupt Decay, gaining 3 life each time.
I mean, the Abrupt Decay doesn't really matter after a certain point
Yeah.
because none of the combo pieces are one mana.
No. But yeah, that is not a way I have seen Aluren win.
Yeah. You definitely are correct when it comes to not infinite life because you do eventually draw yourself out. You would have probably netted what? Up to 30 or 40 life before Treble ends up killing himself?
We were around about 10, 7 or 8. He's probably got 45 cards left.
Yeah.
It's probably getting 120 plus life.
Oof.
But
I think you'd stop yourself, right?
he does get to dig and draw and find exactly what he needs, and because he's got Recruiter, we know that he'll find those, and he's never gonna put himself in a position of drawing into an empty library.
Definitely, and I'm beginning to wonder what they're gonna play here. So I'm looking at Mardu's side. Grafdigger's Cage could be relevant. I don't think it's gonna be super relevant. And actually, never mind. It might be.
Yeah, no, Grafdigger's Cage is not relevant because I don't think creatures. It's only creatures. Grafdigger's Cage. And none of the creatures are entering from the library or the graveyard. There's the enchantments entering from the library. The creatures go to hand and then enter. So I don't think Grafdigger's Cage does anything.
It turns Uro off.
That is true.
And it also turns off Cabal Therapy.
He never cast Uro from the graveyard.
That's true. And it does turn off Cabal Therapy.
It does turn off Cabal Therapy from the graveyard. So I think you're probably right. It probably is actually worth bringing in.
I do see Echoing Truth coming in.
You don't bring Relic of Progenitor's Zinc. You don't need to exile the entire graveyard. Yeah, Echoing Truth is probably worth it. Dismember, probably not. The things aren't the right size.
Submerge, burn, submerge. It's free.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that can really screw things over. And then from Aluren, what are we gonna see coming in?
I think Veil. Veil is 100% coming in.
What does Veil actually do for him when the blue interaction is counter spells?
It's Veil. You draw cards.
Yeah, I mean it does get you card draw, but unless there's stuff to go out, it's I also think this is a deck where he does bring in his squandered resources to see if he can actually combo quickly. Oh,
Yeah,
and I'd be bringing in Pernicious Deed because,
yeah.
there's no Planeswalkers. It gets the artifacts as well, so absolutely bang, bang, bang.
I think playing it indoor can also be relevant here. You do know there's a true
Yep.
name.
Yeah, there's plenty of those wizards and merfolk that have 1 toughness.
Yeah, I think
Some of
there's a
them
lot
have
of fun
2,
stuff here.
but plenty of them have 1.
Yeah, I think Meddling Mage is relevant. I think Pernicious Deed is relevant. Playing Engineer is relevant. Assassin's Trophy is definitely relevant. Veils are relevant. You know, there's very few cards in Trouble sideboard where I think it's not relevant.
I think Containment Priest also there's a case for, although we have not seen him using Vile yet. I think there is a case for Containment Priest to turn off Vile.
Yeah, but I don't think you can. Maybe you think that's gonna happen because there are open deck lists. Maybe.
Yeah, I think because you've seen the deck list. I think if you've seen Chalice and you've not seen the deck list, you don't think Ether Vile's there.
Which is also relevant because he could bring in a Knight of Autumn, another breaker card for artifacts.
Yep.
Honestly, there's just too many things. I'm not sure what the best here is actually to get. I think one play engineer is probably fine. Veil is relevant because you know.
Yeah, I think Charble's probably got experience on his side when he knows how many cards he can take out.
Yeah, at that point, I'm not sure what you take out. You take out what, the Miri's Guile, maybe?
Yeah, I imagine you take
Shardless,
Guile
maybe?
out. You may even be able to take out 1 Aluren.
Yeah, possibly. I think it's just a situation you end up in where it becomes like, what do you cut? How much do you want to cut?
Yeah, and that's something that takes practice and skill with a deck. Well, with a lot of decks, to be honest. I mean, some decks can take all 15 sideboard pieces and still do what you want them to do, and some decks you've got to be very, very careful with.
I mean, none of these are like surefire wins. You know, this isn't Modern where I side in my 10 silver bullets and hope to God I mulligan to it. These are all ways you could get around.
Yeah, they're things that change the balance ever so slightly, rather than I land my ley line, your plan is screwed.
Yeah, there are very few decks in Legacy nowadays that will actually have a problem with, well, my deck just folds to X.
I mean, yeah, because even Dredge always brings in hate for the graveyard hate. It just tends to take a little bit longer to get there.
Yeah, Marta's gonna be on the play from what we've been told. Charble's apparently keeping a sketchy 7. I'm not sure what that means for sketchy 7. Maybe it's a one-lander.
Is that kind of trying to trick the opponent into thinking they don't need to keep quite such a good hand? I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, we've gone land. And
We got a Cavern Naming Wizards. We're getting Watcher again.
This Watcher, if I hadn't seen the deck list, I would think he was playing about 7 of them.
I mean, it is a very good card.
It's also appeared quite a lot.
Hiding away the 1 and throwing the rest in the bottom. I do wonder if Charble's leading again with the... Oh, no, we're going for Brainstorm.
End step Brainstorm.
Oh, yeah. And now I'm beginning to question, is there going to be another Cabal Therapy in the future?
Well, there obviously wasn't one turn 1, but, sees 3 more cards now.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it gets some more land. We don't want to see another situation where they're just sitting on no lands.
I kind of like Cabal Therapy as well, just because I get to know what the other person's got in hand, so I get to know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, it's a...
I haven't played Cabal Therapy deck in a long time.
So the original 7 that Martyr had apparently was off-color landed 2 chalices. Not sure you keep that.
Yeah. I mean, he did go to 6 and then keep, I believe.
We're gonna see a Tundra and a Underground
I
Sea?
presume by off-color lands he means a Caracas.
I would assume a Caracas and like the Riptide Laboratory
Riptide,
probably.
so a colorless land, yeah.
Yeah. Something that doesn't generate anything that allows you to cast wizards.
Yeah.
We're gonna see a Belfast.
Fairly classic turn 2 play.
Oh yeah. I wish people more
Yeah, so
played.
Charbel was saying to me that the reason he hasn't switched to Quattles like a lot of people has is that he just doesn't feel with the mana base of Aluren that you can reliably turn it on. To have the other 3 snow permanents to give it death touch, the flash isn't a significant advantage, whereas the death touch is very necessary for aggro matchups.
Yeah, I think you really, really have to play a very certain style of deck for it to work. You have to have at least like 2 Arkham's Astrolabes, be heavy into the basic plan.
I had a look on MTG Top 8, and Charbel is the only person who is not playing Icefang Quattle, and none of them are playing Arkham's Astrolabes, or maybe like one.
Are they playing Snow Basics?
They're playing Snow Basics,
Okay.
and that's it.
That's
their only Snow permanents. But if you have to get 3 Snow permanents to get your 2-drop to work, that's hard work to get it to work.
Because then you're fetching around them too.
Exactly, when you actually might need to be fetching a dual. Yeah, I do like Charbel's basics.
Yeah, I think they're going for another forest, probably an Odyssey forest. I want to say something like that.
Yeah, I think that was
that era.
We're gambling on. What did you say, masks last time?
I personally have Island Mask. I had like Island 350 or something mask in foil.
Yeah, I think I have like 2 old foil basics.
You gotta go for the full foil base. Gonna see another Baron cast.
Yep.
I wonder if we're gonna probably bounce the Hideaway. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to have been a consistent pattern of play.
Chaotic's chiming in with the Onslaught Forest, number 349. Shout out to Chaotic for collecting lands. Yeah, for those who don't know, Chaotic's on a giant mission to collect every land that's ever been printed. Has a nice Excel document about it.
The Guru lands are gonna cost him a fair bit.
Well, those aren't even the lands I worry about.
A few other lands that are quite expensive as well.
I worry about summer magic lands. That's what I worry about.
Yeah, and there's a Judgefoil forest that I think goes for around 100.
Yeah, there's the full Judgefoil collection of every basic. I'll just pretend summer doesn't exist till the very end. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Plague Engineer.
Naming wizards, I would assume, unless they really, really want to kill the true
Miniature
name.
Baron is actually a 2/2, so it doesn't help us slow things down for the moment. It does mean that combat is essentially irrelevant now because we've got a 1/1 going into a 2/2 and a 1/1 flying death.
We're assuming it's naming wizard. We're assuming it's naming wizard.
Yeah, we've not got that from our table spotter what the Plague Engineer is naming.
Because it could be naming Merfolk.
Yeah, he does name wizard.
Okay. Because that is relevant text. There are 3 Merfolk cards in the deck, of which there are multiple copies of each of them. I think it's 4 Thassa's Oracles, 2 Tricksters, and 3 True Names?
Yeah, although
4 Tricksters, 4 Thassa's Oracle, 3 True Names.
He does have 2 Plague Engineers, so he's okay. He can, and also
name wizard, name
Cavern
Merfolk.
Harpy gives him a way to bounce one, and Baron gives him a way to bounce it, so he can always bring it back as a Merfolk if he needs to.
Yes, they're all wizards.
The Jitte and the Riptide Laboratory. Jitte is equipped to Baron.
Ooh, that's a.
That is going to destroy things quickly.
I wonder what the choice here is.
I mean, it is just a 1/1. I'm still tempted to block it. It does mean that the Jitte can then wipe the board, but then he has a Jitte and no creatures, and a Jitte and no creatures is what I like the board to look like.
Yeah. You do end up in a good situation there.
And he's chosen not to go straight for the Strix, he's just used one on the Engineer whilst he can.
Yeah, just hold on to it, because there might be something scarier in your future.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see a Recruiter of the Guard, you definitely want to get rid of it immediately.
Yep. Although, of course, it's fetching something as an ETB trigger. You just don't want to get it bounced back to hand.
Looks like Charles thinking about playing something that probably cost black and green, maybe? Oh. Probably green blue then?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. There's certainly a lot of thought going into it.
Something green blue, right? Okay, there we go. There's a trickster.
Ah, right. That's interesting. Yeah. So he brings in his
Arctic Merfolk
Arctic
kicker.
Merfolk, which allows him to bounce his Baleful Strix, which will then allow him to get some extra draws.
Comes in as a 2/2.
Yep. Might actually be important.
Very relevant.
Because otherwise it could be got straight away by the...
Ooh, we're gonna Abrupt Decay here.
And we're Abrupt Decaying. Oh, Abrupt Decaying a Jitty when the counter can only do life
gain 2 life,
is
yeah.
useful.
Gaining 2 life can be helpful. Depends on where you're at in the game.
Yeah. I don't feel that it likely is in this matchup, but there's some interesting lines that Charbel is taking here. I was actually expecting the Baleful Strix to be replayed to just draw a card, but I think that was a very good timing to play the Abrupt Decay. Obviously, I didn't know he had that in hand.
Yeah, the Arctic Merfolk's kicker cost is bouncing a creature. It is kind of weird to a lot of people, but it's part of paying the casting cost.
Yeah, there's some things that felt bad, became good when other things got added to the game. When there was no ETB triggers, bouncing something was just slowing it down, whereas now there's ETB triggers, it means you get them twice.
Oh yeah. Gotta love an old cards become relevant again. Trouble's going down to 14.
That's what makes Legacy such an open format, that every new set they print, every new card they introduce in a commander set might make an old card relevant.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what Good Wizards' design philosophy was. Nowadays, it's a little bit more questionable. I think as they've moved towards making...
They openly admit they don't test Legacy, they also don't test Modern.
Yeah, but I think more as you build for EDH, because EDH used to be this format where you just put things into it and it worked.
Yeah.
And designing things for EDH is kind of suspect. You know, you end up with things like True Name Nemesis.
Yeah.
Or like Savin's Reclamation.
Yeah, I mean, Savin's Reclamation is actually the thing that's sort of the star player in Legacy at the moment. I mean, it's often only a one-off, but when it gets flashed back, it's awesome.
Oh, it's honestly a great card. I think just the EDH builds. I really love EDH. This is coming from a long-time EDH player. I don't like that WotC is trying to build towards building cards that are great for EDH. Because I think incidental cards that are great for EDH is what happens when you build an EDH deck.
Yeah.
And nowadays it seems like, let's push cards.
Was initially quite popular in the judge community. It was sort of, let's get some funky interactions going.
I mean, that's where it came from.
It was powerful decks on the planet.
It came from the judge community as a pickup game when they were off not judging. The Elder Dragons were the first things that they thought of because, you know, Elder Dragon Highlander seems like a cool thing to do, and then it was expanded to be all legends, etc., and so on.
This week I actually got to play EDH against somebody who was using original Nicol Bolas as their leader.
I mean, old man Nicol Bolas, who's like in a library, just like hunched over or whatever.
Yeah.
The card is so funny looking to me, but I love the old art. It seems like we're stopping here for a second to figure out what's going on.
So, Arctic Merfolk has been dismembered, which means he loses some life.
Yes.
Cannot make black mana. So it should be 14 all. And yep, we're untapping and going to the next turn.
Yeah, we're moving straight to the Aether Vial play here.
We do have the Aether Vial.
We finally get to see it. It's only been...
I mean, in a match that plays some forces to protect their own combo, I don't actually think Aether Vial's hugely relevant. And we got that Watcher.
It's just interesting to finally see it.
Yes. Yep, Watcher resolves, unsurprising.
Yeah. I wonder what the Hideaway card is going to be this time around.
Well, I mean, you know, you could even whiff in the top 4 of the deck quite easily, not even get, you know, you could hit 4 lands and be glad that you're putting 3 of them on the bottom. I mean, in many ways, he doesn't want to draw any more lands at this point. 6 is probably plenty enough for Wizard Shift.
I mean, if you want to bounce your Oro, Noboro, if you want to play Riptide more.
Yep.
You never need enough lands, especially on this deck.
So we have Verdant Catacombs lands.
Seems like they're still trying to think about what they want to do.
So he's played the land, but I think he's thinking carefully what he wants to do next. Getting his mana organized correctly, and I know that's a pile of 3. So he's recruiting now. Don't know how many cards Marta has in hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm assuming yes, you definitely force this.
Okay, so he's forcing the recruit.
Are we veiling? Are we veiling? Yeah, we're veiling.
Yeah. Oh, force of negation on the veil.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
What's the decision here? Does he have a force will in hand? Oh no.
Doubt it.
Interestingly enough, if he fetches properly, he could probably get another one.
I mean, that's still quite costly for Marta to have got rid of those 2 cards there. Did
It
you
is
see
very relevant.
what he exiled with?
No. We still have not seen what the Hideaway card is.
No, I was meaning what he exiled with Force of Will. I think he cast Force of
Trickster.
Negation hard cast, and it looks like he exiled a Merfolk Trickster.
I believe we're double fetching here. Gonna probably look for another Savannah, I would assume. Maybe something.
Yep.
He already has the basic forest. Maybe he's going for the basic swarm. Unless it's in hand.
Just checking what's in hand. Make sure he gets the right card.
Ah, there's the other forest.
Yeah, the basic swamp. Forest, sorry, rather.
Yeah.
So he's got 3 mana available now.
Could cast the recruiter again.
Yep.
If there is another recruiter.
Well, there's 3 in the deck.
There's Strix.
Interesting. So I still find playing Parasitic Strix as not part of the combo very dodgy, but, you know, he does have a lot more experience than I have with this deck.
It travels up to 14. We're looking at 9 for Martyr. It is a drain card. Interesting to note that Martyr has not been putting Vile triggers up at all.
Yeah, this random, isn't it? So the Arctic Merfolk is in the graveyard, I believe.
Yes. I believe that was still this game.
So he could get that back with an Eternal Witness.
In theory. We're gonna go Hideaway. Probably gonna cast this again.
Bouncing that back.
Just filtering. Just filtering. Seeing what you can find.
Yep, it goes again.
For those just tuning in, Tribal won game 1. His Aluren combo deck. Martyr is on Wizard Shift, which is a paradigm shift deck with wizards as a tribe. Cavern of Souls is naming the wizard. There's only 3 cards that are non-wizards, all of which are True Name Nemesis.
Which we've only ever seen in hand so far.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen one cast. Would be cool to see. Probably dies, though.
Don't think Charbel has anything that can deal with True Name Nemesis, because even though
Plague
he
Engineer.
is playing white, he's not gonna... Oh, of course, Plague Engineer.
Plague Engineer. Name Merfolk.
Yeah.
Or Rogue.
Yep. But yeah, he's not playing Council Judgment, which is your classic. Okay. I think just going in with lots of flyers might actually do it for him.
Yeah, you're swinging 4 a turn here.
Parasitic Strix is a 2/2. 2/2 flyer for 3 feels quite strong.
Are we harpying? Okay.
Oh, we're harpying. Harpy gets forced.
What are we pitching to force? Shift.
Yep. I think he knows that he's nowhere near going comboing off.
Either that or there's another shift hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's relevant. Now we're finally getting an Aether Vial on 1.
And he has no 1-mana creatures because Curse Catcher's out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, 14 versus 4 is quite a big cushion. And they are all flyers, that 4 power over there.
Yeah, Martyr's at 4 life. He has to do something.
He's doing some maths. Yeah, it just takes that.
Is he thinking about bouncing it?
Well, I mean, he's got enough mana that it feels like reasonable to bounce it and replay it every turn.
Yeah, but he dies next turn.
Yeah, and just what can he find? What could he find that?
A flying blocker would be nice.
Ooh, there's one of those in the deck. It's called V-Clique.
There's a Nimble Obstructionist.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. So he's playing. He does bounce and play back.
I don't know what the objective here is. You
Yeah.
die next turn.
Yeah. You know, sometimes, you know, we all get into this. Well, let's just keep trying to do something in case there's something we forgot that our deck can do.
Yeah, I don't know. There is no 2-mana spell that allows...
I can't see... Echoing Truth is instant speed.
Yeah, Echoing Truth could be it.
Baleful Strixes, potentially?
Yeah, that's game.
He says he doesn't have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
So, yeah, he was digging for... He couldn't have bounced again to find the Echoing Truth, but yeah, if he found Echoing Truth. But yeah, so Charbel is the victor of the first MTG Paper Legacy League. Congratulations to Charbel, winning it with Aluren, and some people would say janky Aluren for playing 4 colours and insisting on putting Veteran Explorer in there.
Yeah, I think Martyr could have played a little bit better. Remembering the Aether Vial triggers probably would have helped with some more. Being able to cast things for free is important.
He would have been able to get... I don't know how many cards he ended up in hand there, but he would be able to have more things in play. And if he had hit one of his flyers, then he would have obviously been able to put that in at the correct time. So, and that is the shiny prize that Charbel wins.
Yep, Charbel will be getting this exclusive foil token to us, which we allow for use in any of our tournaments. It is very nice, made by our in-house Alba, who is our artist. She has done the logo for this whole place. Has done some more artwork too, which you might see in the future potentially, depending on how this all shakes out.
Yeah, I think sometimes the Ice Fang Coatl appears in stream backgrounds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, remember to join the August League. Registration is already open. You can do exclamation point League to get the bot to tell you where it is. And also, you can find it on the Discord in both the general and the registration channels.
Yep, if you want to go check down below on the Twitch, you can type in exclamation point League for the August League and just sign up right there, or just join our Discord with exclamation point Discord. We'd love to have you guys, and as our tagline says, let us be your local. As you can see, we have so many different decks in our meta.
Our local meta is crazy. And you can play proxies here as well. They need to be color printed. They need to be color printings of actual
Physically
that
printed
had
Magic
paper
cards, yeah.
printed, because we're all like against MTGO. No, we're not really against MTGO. We're just encouraging them.
A lot of us are
the
paper Legacy
art.
players who have been playing Legacy for years. Many of us have played with those cards, and for a lot of us, it's about recognizability. We've said it many times. In person, you can always know whatever that land is. It's got that white border. It looks like trash to a lot of people. It is the dual land. Everyone knows them when they see them.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys tuned in and enjoyed the show.
Good night, and congratulations